Hi, my name is Jack Dangermond, and I have the distinct honor of welcoming all of you to the Baltic Esri Users Conference this year. The theme this year is about interconnecting our organizations and ultimately interconnecting our world. Your work is distinguished. It's never been so important, and you are, from my perspective, really special. It's been a number of years since I was there, but I fondly remember each of the visits to your organizations and to your country. It's amazing how geospatially literate your organizations are. These are a few examples in transportation, in facility management, in conservation, in environmental protection. You have long led the way in being able to apply GIS to meaningful and important work. The examples this last year, particularly with COVID, are especially distinct. I mean, you have been heroes in your country, being able to show not only what's happening with COVID at a global level, but also what's happening, for example, in Vilnius, the city, showing not only what's happening, but also the response. Everything from finding out where to get vaccinated to areas of where to get tested, and patterns and relationships. This has opened the country's eyes to the power of geospatial visualization and your work. Our world at a global level is amazing. I mean, our world is a living system. Cultural systems and natural systems, it's dynamic and complex and interconnected. We see this vision repeated again and again, particularly in your work in GIS. And our world is changing rapidly. It's fundamental for our human life. We're getting connected to this idea of environment, and our activities are all interconnected. All forms of life and all forms of human activities are fundamentally visualized through your work. GIS is interconnecting our world. It's taking the science of geography and connecting our people and our organizations. It's connecting human activities and our information and our sciences. It's all coming together. Well, we might say that it's a process and a framework for bringing measurements and visualizing them and analyzing them, being able to use them as databases for making planning and designing and creating our future. It's a framework for making better decisions and action. And not only does it provide us a process and framework, but it also allows us to apply the science of our world, geography, to all human activities. Now, over the years, GIS professionals, you, have been applying this science to almost every field independently in separate systems and separate projects. But increasingly, through open data sharing and open services, you are getting interconnected. It's becoming interconnected in what I like to describe as a geospatial infrastructure. And cities particularly are embracing this new form of digital infrastructure rapidly to support virtually every activity in cities. Geospatial infrastructure, we may say, is the modern implementation pattern of GIS. It's not one database and one set of applications. It's multiple distributed systems that are becoming interconnected by way of the internet or the web. And this is leveraging the services-based architecture of modern GIS and portals. Portals can interconnect these services so we can discover them and then bring them together to support actual complex applications. So this pattern is emerging rapidly. It's for the individual, and the individual GIS professional is providing a rich network of distributed content and capabilities, whether it be content or analysis capabilities. It's supporting data science. It's supporting being able to bring in real-time information. In a portal, we can search and discover these distributed services and apply them in meaningful ways, helping us work more collaboratively. Geospatial infrastructure is a complex pattern. It supports our desktop. It interconnects our desktop. It supports our enterprise server implementations, and it integrates those as services. It supports the idea of implementing hosted enterprises in the cloud, and also SaaS, and now most recently, platform as a service to support developers, building embedded applications anywhere and everywhere. It integrates virtually every type and format of information, making it available. In other words, this distributed pattern, instead of putting all types of data into one data bank, it allows us to read and transform that information dynamically, whether it be tabular data or imagery data or now LiDAR data and voxels, water vector data, CAD, BIM data, real-time data, virtually any kind of data. I can connect to it and then dynamically look at it in the form of web maps and web scenes and web layers. Our world is increasingly becoming digital. Landscape information models, or some people call them LIMS, building information models, network information models, whole city information models are being able to be dynamically brought together in what some have called a digital twin. And GIS is a framework for not only creating digital twins, but also integrating multiple types of twins into a form that we can apply in many ways. One of my colleagues will later talk about digital twins and what they mean for particularly the built environment. GIS maps and dashboards are becoming pervasive. We saw this with the coronavirus maps. The one in the upper right here from Johns Hopkins University was made over a couple of trillion times. People looked at it sometimes 3, 4, 5, 10 times a day to see what the status was, where the disease was going. But that is the pattern of almost every kind of information that's mapped today. We're increasingly seeing policies and actions supported through these web maps. And certainly in the Baltics, we see it especially blossoming in many ways. Not only is it maps, but also GIS. GIS and Web Maps and GIS and mobile devices. They're foundational to providing access to geographic science and geographic information to everyone. Visualization and analytics, I'm talking about sophisticated visualization and sophisticated modeling, is also emerging in the context of this geospatial infrastructure rapidly, opening up open science and open source modeling tools to everyone. Let me conclude with a couple of comments. GIS today, and we'll be seeing this during this week, is becoming a kind of infrastructure. This is the next big technical architectural step. It's helping individuals, of course, but also helping organizations and whole communities do their work better. And your collective work is bringing this information together. I really wish all of you a great conference this year, and I wish I was there to help tell the stories and also listen to some of the work that you are doing. It's creating and applying geographic knowledge everywhere, and I believe it'll be one of the great contributions to the future of sustainability in your country and the world. Thank you.